You're tuning into Black and White Sports.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Well, we're going to talk about Bubba Wallace, NASCAR legend Tony Stewart, and Kyle Larson. Now, in case you don't remember, there was a very, very ugly public incident last year at Las Vegas Motor Speedway involving Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace, where Bubba Wallace decided to go out there and essentially attack Kyle Larson. That's right. Now, Bubba Wallace is quite a bit bigger than Kyle Larson, but that has not stopped Tony Stewart, legendary three-time Cup Series champion, Tony Stewart, to weigh in on the incident involving Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson. And frankly, as we can expect, and as we would all expect from Tony Stewart did not hold back one little ounce. Very quickly, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on podcast. All of our audio from all of our videos from all of our channels is available wherever you get your podcast from. So let's check this out. This, of course, was the incident I'm referring to last year at Las Vegas. This thing went viral. Bubba Wallace got suspended. Many people were calling for McDonald's to pull their sponsorship from Bubba. This is it right here. The incident in question. There was a shove. There's another shove. And that was Bubba, of course. And we can tell Bubba's a bigger dude. That's once again, Bubba not being able to handle what goes on during a race, on a racetrack. Yet another meltdown. I did a video the other day. He threw a tantrum this past week, and it seems to be one thing after another with Bubba Wallace. We saw how frustrated the NBA GOAT Michael Jordan is with his 23XI racing driver, especially when you consider how well his new driver, Tyler Reddick, has been out there racing. And he's done a hell of a job, by the way. So, MJ knows what greatness looks like, and he's not getting it from Bubba. A lot of NASCAR fans are calling and saying, well, you can imagine what you get with a diversity hire. That's sort of what it looks like when you don't deliver the W's. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to Tony Stewart, because this is what Tony Stewart had to say. Tony is a big Kyle Larson guy, and he was on Dale Jr.'s podcast. This is sportscasting.com. Tony Stewart has always been viewed as a talented driver who could achieve success no matter what type of car he was strapped inside. The same could be said of Kyle Larson. Both have openly discussed their admiration for each other. Game recognizes game. This week, during an appearance on Dale Jr.'s Download, the three-time Cup Series champion was compared to the Hendrick Motorsports driver, where it was pointed out how the NASCAR Hall of Famer didn't ever back down from a fight, while the 2021 champ has never been in one. And that's when the veteran discussed his thoughts about what happened in Las Vegas with Bubba Wallace. Very interesting. So let's just scroll down a little bit here. Tony's resume is impressive and includes 3 Cup Series championships, an IndyCar title, IROC championship, 4 USAC crowns, and the 1995 Triple Crown Midget, Sprint, and Silver Crown. Tony Stewart was a certified badass. Despite all those accomplishments, Stewart surprised some after the final race of the 2021 NASCAR season in Phoenix with his remarks about the HMS driver, the Hendrick Motorsports driver. Quote, "Congratulations to the best race car driver I've ever seen at Kyle Larson Racing," Stewart tweeted. I don't know about that, Tony, but let's get to the rest of these comments. During the post-race media session, Larson was informed about Stewart's tweet and responded, quote, "Today has been really cool," he said, "to hear how you say that. I did an interview with NBC before the race started, Mario Andretti. I got to hear him talk about his thoughts on me. And now Tony Stewart. Kyle Larson is a badass on the racetrack. There ain't no doubt about it. If I had to pick, If I really had to pick a true racing hero, I'd say it's Tony Stewart, who I've always believed is the best race car driver ever. That means a lot to me. So, this is what Tony Stewart said to Dale Earnhardt Jr. on this podcast, and he didn't hold back. They talked about Kyle Larson's ability to find success in various racing disciplines when show co-host Mike Davis went back and revisited a time in the early 2000s when Stewart would do something similar, racing in the modifieds or late models during the middle of the week, including one time where he won a couple of races and got into a fight. Stewart Haas Racing co-owner said that was the, quote, ultimate life, and admitted that's one area where he and Larson are dramatically different. Conflict. This gets very interesting because Tony Stewart doesn't hold back, as you can expect. He lets you know exactly what he would have done to Bubba Wallace, and that's whip his ass. Quote, Kyle's not a fighter, Stewart said. I texted Kyle after the Bubba incident at Las Vegas, and I was like, listen, I understand him pushing you once, but the second time he did it, that's enough. And the third time he pushed you, I'd have to lay his ass out. I said, what are you doing? He goes, man, I've never been in a fight in my life. I didn't want to get my ass kicked in front of all these people. I get it. All right. We're going to have to teach you how to fight, bud. Stewart was joking. Now, he was joking about teaching him how to fight. He was not joking about whipping Bubba Wallace's ass. Won't be giving Larson any lessons on fighting, but if someone in the garage knew what to do in conflict, it was Smoke. His career had numerous confrontations to choose from, and not always other competitors. And yeah, he had a lot of different things going on. Tony Stewart did back in his day when he was racing. I like Tony Stewart. I do. I got to be honest. But that's very telling. It's telling you, he flat told Kyle Larson, I would have whipped Bubba Wallace's ass. I'd have laid him out. He just come out and said, I'd have put Bubba Wallace to sleep. Whoa. Hey, where can I pay to see that? Tony, can we get you out of retirement? Because Lord knows, if you get on a racetrack, Tony Stewart, Bubba Wallace is bound to hit you in a racing car. That could very well happen. I mean, there's a chance of that every weekend, for crying out loud. Wow. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Tony Stewart just coming out and saying, I'd put his ass to sleep. I'd have laid his ass out. I think a lot of us would have paid money to see Tony Stewart. Yeah, go push Tony Stewart, Bubba Wallace, and see what happens. It wouldn't have went well, and certainly wouldn't have went that well as it did with Kyle Larson giving you a pass. Anyway, tell me what you think. Kyle Larson probably would have gotten suspended too. There's that. But, yeah, there's no doubts. I absolutely believe Tony Stewart when he says I'd have put him down. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.